This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If your roof starts to leak or your floor's really squeak, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Jaws. Just Add Water System. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti, and with me is Jim Kenzie, who is busy making his Thanksgiving reservation. I'm sure you made this ages ago, correct?
Actually, my sisters are very proactive when it comes to that stuff. They just tell me when, where, and how much.
You are so lucky.
I am. I'm blessed. I got a great family. I'm a very blessed man.
Next year, Segretti invitation, I'm expecting it. I want to come to Ohio.
Okay.
And I want to do that.
All
Maybe
right.
Henry will be in college in Michigan. Could you imagine?
Yeah, I just checked the rates. If you come in on Spirit, it'll be $11 if you buy the ticket today.
But I can't sit in a chair or bring a bag.
Right.
Right.
Ship that ahead of time.
Yeah, okay.
How convenient.
But $11, I'm all on board for this holiday travel. I'll stand. How long could the flight be? 2 hours. That seems great. Well, whatever you guys are working on to get ready for the big holiday, we are here to lend a hand. So let's get right to it because we've got a busy show. You know, between kitchen towels, guest linens, and all those cozy sweaters, your laundry room is about to see some serious action. So we're going to share some smart tips to maintain that washer and dryer, plus what to look for if you're shopping for new machines this season. From mold prevention to energy-saving upgrades, we have got your laundry room ready for the holidays. And with the holiday season in full swing, keeping your home clean and safe is more important than ever. We're going to be joined by Bruce Yako, the CEO of Jaws International, and he's here to share how the Jaws Just Add Water system is going to change the way we clean with refillable, streak-free solutions that are tough on grime but easy on the planet. Plus, Bruce is going to highlight the best Jaws products to tackle with those inevitable holiday messes that do pop up. And are the holidays already feeling like they are just hitting your wallet? We're going to share some simple, budget-friendly tips to help you save on energy, food, gifts, and even those decorations so that you can enjoy the season without the added stress. It's your holiday budget rescue plan coming up. So let's dive right on in. Jim, who's up first?
You know, Leslie, bathroom remodel projects, they're always pretty cool when they're done. We've got Jackie in my home state of Michigan working on one as we speak. Fill us in a little bit here, Jackie.
I have done some plumbing, and I am going to be taking out an old tub and putting in a tile shower in place of it. So the diverter and the shower head are fine. I'm going to be removing the tub faucet because I'll no longer have a tub. Can I just cap off that pipe coming to the tub faucet, or do I have to put a whole new diverter in?
No, you actually have to put a shower valve in because you're going to disconnect that whole spout. And the way you get water currently is the water runs through the tub spout and then you pull up that diverter and then it starts coming out the shower. So you need to put in a shower valve in order to get that water to come up to the shower head. I would also suggest that doing this at this point, you need to put a pressure balance valve in. And this is just simply to make sure that if somebody is running water somewhere else in the house, you're not either going to get scalded or chilly. It makes sure that the temperature mix is always constant. So this is a great opportunity to do that. Now, let me ask you this question. The wall right behind the bathroom, is that accessible right now? I mean, have you had to open it up in the past to work on the plumbing?
No, they left a little access panel. The tub that's in there now is actually like a jetted tub. So they left an access panel to get to maybe the motor. And I figured I could, when I was tearing out some of the tile and pulling out the spout, I could just remove the spout, I thought maybe I could just cap it off, but then I thought no, because just like you said, you pull up on the spout. I need a whole new diverter.
Yep, that's right. It's always a bigger project, and plumbing is one of those things that if you don't do it every single day, it can be confusing and it can be more time consuming than it has to be. So you might want to plan this when you're doing the demolition and then you're doing the tiling work, but you have the plumber come in at the right time and sort of reroute those pipes properly, install that diverter valve and the pressure balance valve. This way you can be sure that the guts of this project are getting done properly, and then you can go in and sort of close everything up and finish it up and make it nice. All right, Jackie, thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
And in some new construction areas, it is code to have that pressure balance valve. Leslie, are you aware of that?
No, I would think it should just be in there anyway.
It's a safety thing, yeah?
Safety or not, it's smart.
All right, Leslie, we're going to head out over to Illinois right now and talk to Richard. He's got a problem with his chimney, and Richard, you say you had a damp spot for 50 years in this chimney? I guess we better hop right on this hot project.
Let's take another 50.
Well, it doesn't make the wallpaper come off. Nothing. The plaster doesn't loosen up. Just damp. We've put 2 or 3 different kinds of chimney liners in it and redone the whole chimney, and still doesn't solve the problem.
All right. Well, first, let me ask you about your chimney. I see that you've got an old house. It's like 108 years old. I presume that you've got a brick chimney. Is it coming up through the middle of the house, or is the chimney on like an end wall of the house?
Pretty much the middle.
All right. Well, the middle. Okay. Have you checked the flashing around the chimney where the chimney goes through the roof? Has anybody looked at that for you?
Yeah, we've replaced it, and we've redone the whole thing up there.
Well, when it comes up through the attic, does it get damp up there as well? Or it's not noticeable? Do you have a cap on the chimney? Is the liner just basically opened up to the atmosphere?
It's got a cap. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's got a cap. Okay. So with the cap on it, that's very helpful. Now, have you ever sealed the brick? Have you used a masonry sealer on the brick, like a silicone sealer?
I know what you're talking about, and we've never seen any reason to do that.
All right. Well, you've never sealed it, so this could be a clue here. Now, the reason you would seal the brick is to slow down the absorption of the water. It doesn't stop it completely, but instead of that brick being so porous and so hydroscopic, the brick, the mortar, all of it, it just absorbs that water and kind of keeps going. It's like sticking a dry sponge in a pail of water. It's going to soak up that water until there's no room left, and that's basically what the brick does during heavy, heavy rainfall. And it sounds to me that that brick is probably very damp because it's getting saturated and it's pulling itself downward. It also sounds like it's not been a problem for you since it's been going on for a very long time. But the next thing that I would do is definitely think about applying that masonry sealer. And when you look for sealers, you want to look for one that says vapor permeable. So what that means is if the moisture gets in, it can vent out. So it basically will dry itself out. And the sealer is not going to hold that moisture inside of the chimney. You want it to evaporate.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling the Money Pit.
Monday Sidekick, the AI agent that knows you and your business, thinks ahead and takes action. Ask it anything. Seriously. Monday Sidekick, AI you'll love to use. Start a free trial today on monday.com.
Hey, you want to make our day? Well, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll be jumping for joy. Plus, you guys, your feedback helps us make the show even better for you. Just go to moneypit.com/review. Well, even though we are Squeaky Door Media, there's nothing like a squeaky door to drive you absolutely bonkers.
No doubt.
Especially when the whole house is trying to be peaceful for the holidays. Good news here, though. Silencing those hinges is a quick and easy fix. You just want to grab some lubricant like a WD-40. That seems to be a good go-to. But if you don't have that on hand, you can use petroleum jelly, cooking spray, even bar soap.
I hate to interrupt you there, Leslie, but technically WD-40 is not a lubricant. It is a water dispersant. But continue.
Well, as I adjust my eyeglasses, technically it's called water displacement formula 40.
Correct.
But, everybody just goes to it as a lubricant, so...
Because it works.
Yeah, so that's what it is, whatever you want it to call it. But here's what you do. Just open and close that door a few times, and that will help you pinpoint that noisy spot. And then with a rag underneath to sort of catch the drips, apply a small amount of your lubricant or your water displacement formula, number 40.
Touche.
To the top of the hinge pin and open and close the door several times because you want to work it in. And you're going to hear that difference right away. If it's still squeaking, remove the hinge pin, apply a light coating along the length and reinsert it. It's the kind of fix that takes 5 minutes, but boy, does it buy you a whole heck of a lot of peace and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll come back, but for now, nice and quiet. Time for some more callers to Jim's Technical Hour. Who's up next? I wish you could see. I'm like pushing my glasses up. Now there's fingerprints all over my glasses. Thanks.
You forgot, Leslie. I see everything.
Why is that camera always on? Closing my computer now.
I took the term control room way too far, Leslie.
All right. Who's on the phone?
Heading out to Kansas now, we've got Brenda on the line with the Money Pit. What's going on at your house, Brenda?
Hi. Well, it's going to fall in.
Oh, no. What's happening?
Well, we have the house was built in about 1908, and the basement walls were poured concrete, and they're starting to crumble. Significantly, like, 2 to 4 inches in some spots. The problem is we can't lift the house because it's made of like haydite blocks that were like with decorative front on them. So the whole thing's block, and we can't. It's just way too heavy to lift. So I'm trying to figure out how to repair the walls or replace them or add structural something to them. I don't know.
All right, so this really isn't something that you can figure out. You don't have the experience, and quite frankly, nor do 90% of the contractors that you'd be calling to ask this question. If you've got walls that are in bad shape, you really need to go to a structural engineer, and that's really critical for a bunch of reasons. First of all, that structural engineer is going to know exactly what kind of repair to prescribe for what's going on at your house, okay? Or they're going to make a report and they're going to have details, words, drawings, what this repair has got to look like. And once you have that specification, that true fix to what's going on at your own home, then you can go and talk to the contractors who will execute that plan that structural engineer has sort of created for you. But most importantly, when you are dealing with a structural issue like this, you also need that structural engineer to come back after the repair is done and say, yep, that was done correctly. We have no more cause for concern, because at some point you're going to want to sell your house. And that engineering report and the inspections that follow that repair are going to sort of give you a pedigree of everything that's going on with the home. We've seen these repairs done badly before, and we've seen them done really well. And it's usually because people try to skip that step of working with that structural engineer. It really is important that you have that design professional when you have walls that are sagging a couple of inches, like the way you describe it, because it truly is beyond the scope of what any contractor should be trusted to design themselves, okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, you are so welcome. Good luck with that project. It's going to be a big one. Thanks so much again for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT. Well, with the holiday season in full swing, your laundry room is probably working just as hard as the kitchen. And I also want to say, just as hard as you guys. Like, somebody's got to operate the laundry room and the kitchen. So I hear you. We're all working hard. So you're washing guest linens, you're refreshing the tablecloths, tackling that growing mountain of kitchen towels. So let's talk laundry room maintenance and how to get the most out of your washer and dryer. First up, if that washer or dryer is more than 10 years old, you might be missing out on some major energy savings. Today's Energy Star certified models use about 25% less energy and 33% less water than those older washers. Front loaders are gentler on clothing and often get better results with less detergent, but top loaders with impellers, not agitators, are also much more efficient than they used to be. Now, whether your machine is new or old, maintenance is key. For washers, one of the biggest problems is mold and odor buildup, especially in those front load models. So to prevent this, keep the door open after each load and run a monthly cleaning cycle with either white vinegar or a washing machine cleaner tablet. Also, you want to check that rubber gasket. That's where all that moisture gets trapped. Wipe it down regularly and remove any debris like pet hair or fabric lint. And speaking of lint, your dryer needs love too. So clean that lint trap after every load. And about once a year, you want to clean out the dryer vent duct to prevent fire hazards and boost the efficiency. Now, if the drying is taking longer than it used to, that is a sign that that duct could be clogged. If you are shopping for a new dryer, you want to look for one with a moisture sensor. It's just going to automatically stop when clothes are dry instead of running on a set timer, because that's going to save you energy, but it will also prevent over drying, and that causes wear and tear on your clothing. And lastly, a quick laundry pro tip here. If you are short on time this season, separate loads by fabric weight, not just color. Towels and sheets should go together, while lightweight fabrics dry faster in their own cycle. You will cut the drying time and save energy in the process. Plus, how many times do you find that sweater or shirt or pajamas inside a fitted sheet and it's soaking wet in the corner? Pain in the butt. That definitely helps that whole process. So whether you're upgrading or just maintaining your current machines, a little laundry room TLC now is going to go a long way towards making the holidays a whole lot smoother. All right, good stuff. Jim, let's lend a hand. Who's up next?
All right, Leslie, we've got John in Maryland on the line who's dealing with a smoke smell in his home. What's going on, John?
My tenant has been in the house for a number of years now. I did ask her, please smoke outside.
Yeah, but she didn't listen?
Thank you. I didn't say that, but I should have. When you light a cigarette and smoke a cigarette, the smoke, it's like having a small campfire.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because getting rid of a cigarette smoke smell is pretty much the same process that you would do if there was a fire in the house. So, John, that smoke smell, even the discoloration that's kind of from cigarettes, I remember my grandparents were both such heavy smokers, and when you would take a picture off the wall, it was like the original paint color behind, but everything else was like yellow and tarry and gross. So there's a couple of things that you have to do for the walls. You kind of have to wash them first before you can go ahead and paint them. And you can wash them with something called TSP, which is trisodium phosphate. You find it in the paint aisle. It's in a powder form. You mix it according to the manufacturer's directions, and then you wash the walls with it. And that's going to give you a good prep base there. You still have to prime, and if it's really stinky, you should use an oil-based primer, because that locks in the odor, that locks in the discoloration. And once that's dry, you go ahead and put that latex top coat on it. But you also have to think about your flooring. I mean, just smoke smell gets into everything. So anything that's a soft good, that's a hard good, it's just going to stink. So if you have flooring, especially if you have carpeting, let's talk about that. Wall-to-wall carpeting, you need to pull that up. If there's padding, you have to get rid of that too, because the smoke has just permeated everything. And steam cleaning alone is just not going to cut it. And then you can replace that carpet, or you can refinish the wood floors if there's something nice under there. Draperies, you've got to take them down and have them cleaned professionally. Any upholstery, you should have that steam cleaned. Truly, anything that needs to be cleaned, just do so. And if it is something, try leaving it outside. Like maybe put a chair outside, but you could leave it outside for the rest of its life and it might not air out fully. So you just got to get ahead of this, and you've got to get rid of those odors. All right, John, good luck with that. I hope it helps you out. I know how gross it can be. Good home security is important, no question, but it doesn't have to be expensive and complicated. That's why I'm so happy to be working with Cove. They're an affordable, customizable security system that you can install yourself in around 30 minutes. They include cameras offering live video and audio to your control panel or your phone, and 24/7 professional monitoring for police, fire, and medical emergencies, giving you absolute peace of mind. Now, we installed Cove at home, and it's a great system because you can get packages that include a hub, door sensors, a doorbell camera, smoke detector, a touchscreen panel, window sensors, motion detectors, and indoor and solar cameras, which really gives you the peace of mind because it is an entire system that is so easy to install on your own. And I love the fact that someone is there monitoring 24/7, which you don't get with a lot of the other home systems. And as a single parent with, well, now a teen who loves to sneak out, by the way, can't do that anymore, and small kids, it's super important to know that we are protected and there's somebody there that can help. God forbid there's an emergency. And best of all, Cove is affordable. It starts at less than $1 a day. And right now is the perfect time to invest in your home security during Cove's Black Friday Cyber Monday sale event. And as an added bonus, Money Pit listeners get an additional 10% off. Just visit covesmart.com and use code MONEYPIT at checkout for an additional 10% off of your first order. That's covesmart.com, Covesmart, COVESMART.com. You'll be glad you did.
Experience the sequel everyone's been waiting for with Sideline 2 Intercepted. Join Drayton and Dallas as they navigate the challenges of college life while trying to stay true to themselves and each other. Catch all the drama and watch Sideline 2 Intercepted starring Noah Beck and Sienna Agudong for free on Tubi this Thanksgiving.
Well, with the holidays right around the corner, it's the time of year when our homes start working overtime, from hosting friends and family to cooking up festive meals and, of course, cleaning up all of that mess that comes with it. Joining us today is Bruce Yako, the CEO of Jaws International Limited, the company behind the Jaws Just Add Water system, a smart, streak-free, and sustainable way to keep your home sparkling clean. Now, Jaws products bring professional-grade power right into your kitchen, bath, and beyond, all while helping reduce plastic waste with their reusable bottles and refill pods. Bruce is here to tell us how the Jaws system works, why it's perfect for tackling those holiday messes, and which products to keep on hand to make cleaning easier, faster, and safer, just in time for the holiday rush. Welcome, Bruce.
Well, thank you. It's great to be on with you, and I couldn't have said it all better.
Thanks, Bruce. I do feel like this is the time of year where we're just ramping up. You know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and then it's the big holiday madness, and there is always something to clean. So let's start with the big picture. What is Jaws? How does Just Add Water system work? And why is it such a game changer in this world of cleaning products?
Well, we started a few years ago with pods that we would use to clean our laundry. And we got away from those big bottles of stuff that we had to store and carry and handle, and, you know, big containers of powdered soap. And what it did was it gave you exact solution every time to make sure your laundry was clean exactly the same way every time. And then we went into dishwashers, and we used pods for dishwashers, and we throw a pod in, and it gives our dishes an opportunity to get clean and streak-free and all that kind of stuff with exact dilution, rather than pouring something into your dishwasher and having different results each time. And so what we did was we created a pod that would be used for cleaning systems. And so it's a modern-day cleaning system for the modern-day home. And these pods are child-resistant, which you don't have in the others, but they're child-resistant pods filled with highly concentrated, Safer Choice certified, non-streaking, non-fuming cleaners that are really designed for that newer surface in your home that you spend a lot of money on and want to make sure it's safe. And then also the cleaners have been designed to offer a very clean experience.
Well, and I love that. I feel like, you know, sometimes it's just so confusing. There are so many products. You don't know which one to grab. The area under the sink is just inundated with things that might not be the best for young families. So to have a cleaner with a pod system like Jaws system is fantastic because it's going to be my go-to. It's going to minimize the amount of things that I have, and I know it's going to do a good job. And it's a great way to cut down on waste. Are you finding that people are being more eco-friendly with what they're using, what they're bringing into the house, how they're disposing of stuff?
Well, years ago, you thought you had to have something that fumed to make it work, and you had to have something that was just so difficult to work with. It's just not the case anymore. The chemistries have gotten better. Our products are. We've done a lot of work to make sure that they are safer. That cartridge, I should explain, it's a size of about a roll of nickels. And rather than throwing it in your dishwasher, you fill up your bottle, which is a reusable bottle. It's an elegant, heavy-duty bottle designed for long-term use, a commercial-grade sprayer that's designed to go through 50,000 pulls, so it really has a long life to it. But simply that cartridge, which is, as I say, is about the size of a roll of nickels, you fill up that bottle, you insert the cartridge. When you tighten down on the sprayer, it releases that super concentrate into the water and just made your first bottle of Jaws. And the beauty of it is that bottle will last you 1,000 years if you just take care of it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And so it really could be the last bottle you ever buy, and you paid for it. Why not continue to use it? And Jaws, the cartridge, allows you to do that.
I mean, that's really fantastic. It seems sort of very simple to use, but it really does bring a huge impact when it comes to the cleaning around the home. And we don't have to wipe the surfaces down again after. Tell me a little bit about the cleaning process.
Yeah, so it's a really wonderful cleaning process. Again, the products don't fume, so you can work above them. They actually smell good. They're not overly scented, so you're not running from that. And secondly, that they're really designed to efficiently remove soils. And so each one of the pods, depending on the product and the application, has different chemistries in it to do the job the way it needs to get done. But at the end of the day, they're all Safer Choice certified, which means that the EPA has looked at these as a third-party instrument and made sure that not only the ingredients that we list on the panel, but also the sub-ingredients that go into making those ingredients are all looked at, making sure they scientifically meet their requirements in terms of safer chemistry. And there's a performance value. So, water is safe, but it doesn't clean very well. So what they do at the end of that whole test method is they look at a performance value. And if they don't perform to a very high degree and consistent with other products out in the marketplace, you don't get to use their emblem. You don't get to use their Safer Choice certification.
I mean, it's really smart. You really are thinking of everything. And if you take a minute to go to the jawscleans.com site, there's something for hardwood floors. There's something for granite cleaner. And granite cleaner and polish is such a tricky product to get because you want to make sure you're protecting this investment, but you want to do a good job cleaning it. And I know that Jaws does that. You guys are really looking out for all of these surfaces.
Oh, thank you.
And the scents are wonderful. Cucumber basil for the granite, lavender and citrus and cinnamon. It's like you're getting a beautiful surface, but it also smells fantastic.
Well, we find that people like cleaning, and we've sold over 200 million cartridges to date, and a lot of those are cleaning professionals, and they're cleaning a lot of surfaces. To have a glass cleaner that you can use on TV screens, computer screens, iPads, iPhones, and, want to attack the adhesive on your UV-coated glass in the southern regions and on your automobiles is really important.
Out of all of the products with the holidays coming up, what's going to be the one I'm going to grab the most that I should keep on hand with all my guests?
Well, your kitchen degreaser, you're going to do a lot of cooking. You're going to have a lot of people in and around the kitchen. And again, that kitchen degreaser, I don't care whether you have stainless steel, marble, granite, doesn't really matter. It works great on all those pots and pans that you're using to spray it first before you clean them. It really does a great job at removing a lot of the films and the soils. But that kitchen degreaser is a phenomenal product. It doesn't leave any streaks behind, even on black surfaces and stainless steel, which is a real problem typically. There's so many products you could use on those surfaces, and you don't really know, and a year later, all of a sudden, those surfaces are dull.
Yeah.
Well, you're using the wrong product on it, and it's attacking the stone. And so then to come back in and use, as you say, a granite and stone cleaner that will take your stone at least, sometimes as high as 25% brighter than after you clean than before you cleaned it. is really awesome.
All right, Bruce Yako, CEO of the JAWS system. Where can everybody go to find it, get more information, order in time for the holidays?
Yeah, great. JawsCleans.com. You're not going to buy a million different bottles of cleaner to take in, but you can bring in 5 or 6 different small cartridges and put them in your pocket if you want.
Or your Christmas stocking, Bruce. I fully expect Santa to bring me some.
Well, great. Fantastic. Well, we have all different ways you can buy it. You can buy individual bottles. You can buy kits. We have, during the holidays, a lot of people will design their own kits. We have a maid's basket, so you can put 4 different cleaners inside the maid's basket and 8 cartridges, which will take care of a lot of cleaning for your guests and family and friends. Use it for yourself. A lot of cleaning professionals will use those kits to go in and out of homes and businesses to clean. But the beauty of it is just they're safer products to work with. They work wonderfully. Go to our website and see how many wonderful garments we get from thousands and thousands of customers who have bought over the years. So we appreciate this conversation, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Bruce, for stopping by the Money Pit. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Hey, you do the same.
Hey, Leslie.
What's up?
You know how much I love to interrupt you?
I love it.
Yeah. Bruce worked out a special for us on JAWS. Read the text I just sent you.
All right. Special for you, our Money Pit listeners. We've got 20% off of your JAWS order when you use code MONEYPIT. All right. I love that. You guys are going to be so thankful, and your cabinet space will be happy as well, because this is a really effective product, and it certainly is helpful with all of your storage. So check them on out at jaws.com.
Toast the holidays in a new way and raise a glass of rum chata. A delicious creamy blend of horchata with rum. Enjoy it over ice or in your coffee. Rum chata, your holiday cocktails just got sweeter. Tap or click the banner for more. Drink responsibly. Caribbean rum with real dairy cream, natural and artificial flavors. Alcohol 13.75% by volume, 27.5 proof. Copyright 2025 Agave Loco Brands, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. All rights reserved.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Are you tired of waking up to fogged up windows on those chilly mornings? That condensation can lead to mold, warped sills, and even peeling paint if you leave it unchecked. But here's a DIY trick to keep the glass crystal clear. You can start by wiping down those windows with a solution of equal parts white vinegar and water. This will cut through buildup that makes condensation worse. Then here's the trick. Apply a small amount of shaving cream. Yep. Shaving cream to the glass. You rub it in with a microfiber cloth until the surface looks clear again. That layer leaves behind an invisible film that actually helps repel moisture, just like it does on your bathroom mirror. Bonus points for improving visibility on your glass doors, too. It's a weird little hack for sure, but it works wonders, especially when those outdoor temps start to drop. Well, the holidays are magical, but let's face it, they can also be a serious budget buster. Between gifts, meals, travel, and those higher utility bills, it's easy to feel like your wallet is working overtime. But a few smart moves now can help rescue your holiday budget without cutting the joy. Now let's start with the energy savings. That's one of the biggest hidden expenses of the holiday season. With more people home, the oven is running nonstop, and the lights are on longer, your utility bills are going to climb. So check your thermostat. Even lowering it by just 1 or 2 degrees can save up to 3% on your heating costs. And if you haven't already, switch to LED holiday lights. They use up to 80% less energy than traditional ones, and they are safer too. Now, use what you already have, and not just for the decorations. Take a quick inventory of your pantry and freezer before you grocery shop for those holiday meals. You could be surprised at how much you already have on hand. And when it comes to hosting, potluck dinners are back in style. Don't feel like you have to carry the entire meal. A lot of guests do love to contribute, so give them the chance. Now, let's talk about gifts. If you're feeling stretched, it's totally okay okay to set expectations early with your friends and your family. Suggest a spending cap or a gift swap. Secret Santa or white elephant gifts could be way more fun and less expensive. Handmade gifts, baked goods, even framed photos are thoughtful and budget friendly. And finally, if you're shopping online, use tools like Coupon Browser, things like that, those cashback sites. They take seconds, but they can save real money. Also, be mindful of delivery fees and plan ahead. Last-minute rush shipping can add up fast. Remember, the best holiday memories come from spending time together, not spending money. A little strategy and intention can help you enjoy the season without the post-holiday credit card regret. You need some more holiday ideas? Give us a call. Time now for an email before the holidays kick into overdrive. Jim, who do we have?
We have Jack. He reached out to the Money Pit and he said, I heard your comments a few weeks back regarding a problem I've been having with the copper pipes, developing holes in them in my apartment buildings. Thanks for suggesting to lower the pH level of the water. That makes a lot of sense, and it's a simple solution to a long-term problem. Can you explain what makes this happen?
Yeah, this happens with copper pipes, really, because you would think that they don't deteriorate like that, Jack, but they do. I mean, you think steel maybe, but the issue is that it's the water. The water could be acidic. It could be the city water. It could be well water. Whatever it is, if you have a high acidity in that water, it will tend to form holes in the pipes. They're pinholes, true, but it's usually not just one. It's usually multiple, and they can do a lot of damage. So one approach there really is to treat that water, lower that pH level. If you can, you're going to lower the acidity, and that's what's going to make it less likely for these holes to form. It really is a big deal. I can remember, Jim, I had so much water just from one copper pipeline in my basement, and I could not figure out where it was coming from. But then once we discovered all of these pinholes and just swapped out that section of pipe,
oh, yeah.
what a difference it made. Of course, treating the water, speaking with the village, figuring out what was going on there to sort of manage this for the future is tremendous. But since you're at a point where you have to replace the piping because there is leaking, that is the problem. So don't go with copper in the future. You can go with PEX, something like that, that will stand up to whatever that acidity level is in the water. But with copper, make sure you are monitoring that pH just to avoid this. All right, Jack?
Oh, it's pH? I thought it was a F level.
Yeah, this is my F level. All right, thanks, Jack.
Is there anything better than a roaring fire in the fireplace? But that's only if you can see the fire through your fireplace screen. Well, Leslie has a simple solution in this week's edition of Leslie's Last Word. Leslie?
There's nothing better than cozying up to a crackling fire this time of year. It's one of my favorite ways to wind down after a long day. But if your fireplace screen is dull, dusty, or worse, covered in soot, it can really take away from that magic. That's why I always make the time to give my screen a little TLC once or twice during the season. It really doesn't take much. You just mix up a simple cleaning solution of about 1/8 cup of liquid dish detergent per quart of warm water. And that's going to cut through all of that caked on grime like a charm. You can use a soft bristle brush to gently scrub. Don't go too hard or you're going to risk scratching the finish. Then wipe everything down with a clean, lint-free cloth to prevent rust from forming. If your screen has any brass accents, now is the time to shine them up with a little brass polish. You give it a good buff and it's going to gleam almost as bright as the fire behind it. It's a small task, but it makes a big difference. A clean screen is going to let that glow of your fire shine through beautifully, and just like that, your whole room feels warmer, more inviting, and ready for that perfect night in. So go ahead, pour the cider, grab a cozy throw, and enjoy that fireplace like it was meant to be enjoyed. Well, we covered a lot this hour, and next week we are in full holiday mode. So much to tackle and so much to enjoy. We're going to jump right in with the tree, fresh pine or faux perfection. Whether you're a fan of that classic holiday tree smell or looking for something low maintenance and reusable, we're going to help you pick the perfect tree for your space, your style, and your schedule, whether it's real or artificial. Coming up next week on The Money Pit. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Much love and blessings to you and your family. Remember, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. See you next week.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show. fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand-delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded. So you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.
Monster Energy. Everybody knows White Monster Zero Ultra. That's the OG. It kicked off this whole zero sugar energy drink thing. But Ultra is a whole lineup now. You've got Strawberry Dreams, Blue Hawaiian, Sunrise, and Vice Guava. And they all bring the Monster Energy punch. So if you've been living in the white can, branch out. Ultra's got a flavor for every vibe. And every single one is zero sugar. Tap the banner to learn more.